I saw my buddy, I'm the coolest. Jumping jump for the cool girl. That song is so fire. Anyways, today we have another backlog. No, not backlog. Another backtest log. Another backtest. Um, backtest video looking at what I did. And to be honest, this is my first loss trading with this strategy. But honestly, I don't even know if I want to consider this a loss because if you look at the chart, and we're gonna break it down in like 5 minutes from now, but if you look at the chart and if you look at this first trade I took right here, there is literally nothing. Like, ignore what I marked up here because this is all some bullshit. Everything I marked up, it just doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense at all. I took this trade yesterday, and then was it yesterday? Yes, I took this trade yesterday, or this back test. Sorry, it's still not an official trade. This is me just back testing stuff. I took this back test yesterday, and I was extremely distracted. I forget what I was doing. I was doing something. Still took the back test nonetheless. You can see exactly why you shouldn't be doing that. I was completely distracted, and then I took another test. I mean, I didn't take this trade. I just set it up and wanted to see if it played out. So I put this trade. I put this little thing here, the short position, and then I opened my position here. Bum, we instantly got stopped out. Not instantly, I actually still had hope. As soon as we tapped up here and then we tapped it again, I really didn't think price was gonna break into it again. I actually thought we are gonna like get this 1 hour week low and then continue the trend back down. But I guess we didn't. And then after seeing this, after looking at my setup, I was like, what the hell am I doing? That makes zero sense at all. That goes completely against my whole trading philosophy, against my whole trading strategy. And then I locked in for a little bit, set up this long position right here. And guess what? It hit. And it took like what? 20 hours or something? Wait, I don't even remember. So this is at 10:35 and it hit at, yeah, okay, it didn't take 20 hours. It took 10 hours, so quite a long trade, but still, it hit. And this was actually because I locked in. I didn't do the markup for this one because I just wanted to see on the quick, like, if I could still do my strategy, and if like, for this shocked me because I was so confident in my strategy, right, that it was gonna hit that. Wait, 1 second. I was so confident in my strategy and that it was gonna hit that it just shocked me, because when you have a strategy, when you go into trades, obviously in your mind, the one thing that you need to think about is that trade hitting. And it didn't hit. So it was kind of a shock to me that it didn't hit, because obviously at the end of the day, you always want your trades to hit, right? But it didn't. And then I wanted to, like, first of all, I got off my laptop as soon as this trade got stopped out because I didn't really want to think about it too much. Again, this is just a back test. It isn't really like, a real trade. So I wanted to get my mind off of it for a bit, and then came back like 30 minutes, an hour later, and actually looked at the trade again. And then I looked, and then I honestly, looking back at what I did, I have no idea what even got me into this trade. This trade, I can fathom. I can understand how I got into this trade, and I can also understand why it hit. This trade, on the other hand, absolutely no idea. So let's break it down. Okay? Um let's go here. Let's make this a bit more visible. This is always the most annoying part. Zooming back out. So what I saw on the daily was this nice little market structure shift. So what I saw is that we broke out of this, or we had a nice little uptrend. This is continuing from the other trades I took, right? I think the last trade I took was somewhere in here. I think it was actually this candle right here, somewhere there. We had a nice little uptrend. We went back down. We broke out of this low, signifying to me, okay, hold on, this is a market structure shift. We might be going back down. We didn't go back down. We went back up. We respected this low right here, made this low, and then we went back up. So what I was looking for was a long position. But what did I do? if we look back again at the 15-minute time frame on the first trade, or on the only actual trade, because keep in mind I didn't actually take this trade, that's why my balance is so low. Had I taken this trade, I would be up in 52,000, something like that, 53,000, pushing it maybe even. So this is the only trade I took. I didn't take this trade. I just wanted to see if it would play out, and it would have played it out. But I'm not gonna cheat myself and like rewind time back to make this trade play out. Obviously, that's some stupid stuff. But then we were looking for a long position, right? What did I do though? I took a short position. I thought I could take a cheeky low scalp. And let me walk you through what I thought I was doing. At least I think that's what I thought I was doing. So, um, just looking back at this makes me like, I really don't know what I did here. This is probably the worst trade I ever took. But it's okay, it's good to keep myself accountable. And that's the reason why I'm making this video, because yesterday I was busy. I know I should be more focused on this whole trading thing if I actually wanted to work out, but I was just busy yesterday, and you can't just always keep trading. I feel like sometimes you really just have to clear your mind and get off of the charts and do something else, and look at some other things. So yeah, anyway, quit yapping and let's talk about this. So we had this 4-hour high, which resulted from this low. So this is our protected low. We don't expect price to break below this. It did break below it, and I marked it out 4-hour change of character. Then I went on to my 1 hour, did the same thing, looked at the most recent structure, and I saw that we were um kind of, it was weird because I think this is what got me confused. This little thing right here. So we were in an on the 4 hour, right? We were correcting downwards. In my to me, that like we were correcting downwards, and I think that we're gonna go back up. Or that's what I thought back then. And then I saw right here, this is what made me go into the short position. I saw right here that, okay, we had this high, we had this low, we broke out of this high. Okay, it looks like we're gonna continue an uptrend. We're gonna continue going up. Um, okay, hold on. This is a bit. Okay, wait, let me just mute this. Give me 1 sec. All right, I'm back. I hope you guys didn't lose focus. So, yeah, so we had right here like this break of structure, or it's not even a break of structure actually. I think it's more of a change of character. At least that's what I think, because we had a low, we had a high. A break of structure would be us respecting this low and then breaking out of this high. So this would have actually been a change of character. This isn't even a break of structure, and this is how you can see that I was not focused when I was taking this trade. And if you're not focused, you shouldn't be taking a trade. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. This isn't the thing that made me like lose the trade, by the way. This is just one sign of me being unconcentrated while taking this trade. So yeah, we broke out of this high, and then to me, I was like, okay, hold on. We could be looking for a little short scalp right here. We could be looking for a short position to take a nice little scalp before we take it back up to ride the to after the correction. Because keep in mind, right here on the daily, we are currently at this point in time. When I took the trade, it was like somewhere here. We were on a downtrend, correcting, looking to go back up, right? So that's that. I think that was my philosophy behind what I did, why I did what I did. So yeah, we had that. And then on the 1 hour, we saw this change of character, and then instantly I took it as an indication, which, okay, that's a respectable thing to do according to my philosophy. So I saw the indication, but I don't you see, this is how I know that I'm not really like I don't have enough knowledge on this whole topic because I'm kind of questioning what I'm doing right here, which is also why I'm making this video, but whatever, whatever. I was looking at this chart again this morning and I realized what I did wrong. I just don't remember where exactly it was. Okay, yeah, there's a number of things that was wrong with this. So I took this indication, which in itself is okay, I guess. But then what I should have done is I missed this. I don't know. I was just too focused on looking at this part of the chart that I missed this. So this is kind of confusing, right? Because we had a high, we had this low, and then we had a high. This is a protected low, by the way, because we're on a downtrend. And yeah, sorry, that was my girlfriend in the background. Whatever. Um, so we had this. This is the most unfocused I've ever been. I don't even know if I should upload this, but whatever. I already put like what? How many minutes? Sorry, 10 minutes. Whatever. We're just gonna keep going. So we had this low, and then we had this high, and we broke out of this. Can you even consider this a high? Sure, why not? So then this would have been the first change of character right here. And that's what I'm thinking, like, I just completely missed this part. So probably what I would have done is then I would have taken a short here. And in itself, maybe that would have worked. I have to look at like more confluence and whatever, but I just ignored it. And then I ignored it because I treated it as okay, we're still going down. It doesn't really matter. This little thing right here doesn't matter. And then we went down. We had a change of character, meaning the indication was over, and now we're correcting. And then we had this correction right here, which uh lasted until all the way here. And then I'm pretty sure I marked this change of character for the end of the correction on the 15 minute. If See, because I don't know what I marked here. Like I genuinely don't know what this is looking back at it now. Okay, wait. We have a high, we have a low, we have a high. Okay, never mind. I see it now. So this is the low, this is the protected low after the correction. And after it breaks out of this, the correction is over. And then I thought, okay, breaks out of it. We made a low, we made a high, we made a lower low and a lower high. Okay, this is safe. This is safe to enter into the trade. And that's how I normally would take my trades. But I think what I failed to take into consideration, and it is a thing, or that's the thing that I learned today, or that I didn't fully finish learning it yet, but I'm still learning it, and that is liquidity. So, in a lot of my trades, sometimes with ICC and the way you do it, is that the indication, correction, and continuation, ICC is built in a way, according to Sai, I think that's what Sai said, that the ICC dodges like the whole fake out thing with the liquidity. But I don't think I traded ICC here. Okay, we have the indication, we have the correction, but then this would have been the continuation. What I said, this would have been the short that I took. So what I did actually was trade market structure. I don't know. See, this is like I don't know what exactly I did here. Again, I don't know what this was, but now looking back at it, I can see why, from a logical standpoint, I would think to take a short here. But the problem and the thing that I failed to consider is we failed to, in order for a move down or in order for any move to happen, any big significant move on any time frame, we need a sweep of liquidity, right? So say we have a high, we have buyer side liquidity, and we want to sweep the high so there's enough liquidity for the market to go back down. And here we didn't really have that, or at least before I entered my trade, I didn't really have that. Again, I'm not a professional in this yet. Like, I don't really know. I'm not that good at the whole liquidity concepts thing. But maybe this could have just been like, one of those times where, okay, all my conferences were right. Because looking back at this now, right, this could have technically been like the liquidity sweep, right? Because or at least that's how I think of it. Maybe on the 5 minute, it's not a relevant enough liquidity sweep. But then again, if we look at the 15 minute, we have this. I entered here, we had this, and we still swept above it. This would have been enough fuel to take it down. The court, like that, at least that's how I think liquidity works. But I may be wrong, and I may have to check up on that again. So, yeah, I'm not sure because now because I studied liquidity. I studied liquidity um today and yesterday a little bit. And from what I can tell, this is probably an inducement. Or maybe it was. Ooh, wait, maybe this was the high that had to get taken out in order for it to be taken back to. I don't know. I don't know. But this was just like. This is, it's a trade that didn't hit. This is still, I'm just going to document it for, whatever. It's just, it didn't hit. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And now, moving on to onto this next trade that I took right here. I didn't, again, I didn't per se take this trade. I just set up my long position and see if it played out, and it did play out. Had kind of some weird. It went very low again, but I placed my stop loss well, which to me this just signifies that my strategy works with the stop loss below the lowest low of the correction. So this, I'm not sure why exactly I took this. I think it's because of this change of character right here. So we're on a low trend going. We're on a downtrend. Price is moving bearish. We're going down. We had this low which didn't get respected, or sorry, we had this high which didn't get respected. We broke out of here. We also broke out of here, and we also broke out of here. I think that's why I took the trade. So not really too much confluence, but just from pure market structure. Like we had these highs, we had sellers sitting at this level pushing price down a lot. And we had it here again, and it pushed and it pushed and it pushed, and then it broke out of here, which already was an indication for me. And then it broke out of here again, and it broke out of here. And that's not okay. I entered the trade off of this, so I entered the trade off of it breaking out here. Put stop loss there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what exactly went through my head when I was taking this trade, but obviously I must have thought something because this wasn't a revenge trade. Um, if it was a revenge trade, I think I would have just continued looking for the low, but then I looked at the whole thing again and I realized no, we're actually in a long position. We should be targeting longs, and we targeted longs and it hit. So yeah, I think what I definitely need to do is look at liquidity sweeps and inducements, and I need to just incorporate that into my strategy because honestly, I don't think I'm trading ICC. I think what I'm trading right now is market structure, but then I use ICC to justify it, if that makes sense. Because yes, I write down indication, correction, continuation, and whatever, but at the end of the day, what I'm looking at is market structure with the change of characters and the break of structures and whatever. It's the indication correction continuation is just a way for me to justify it. And I think that's what actually made it wrong or made this trade or made me go into this trade even though it was wrong. It was I was just trying to justify market structure with indication correction and continuation. And instead what I have to do is justify my market structure with liquidity and liquidity sweeps. And I need to get a bit better at doing that. So yeah. First official loss, well, this probably wouldn't have been a losing day. this would have been a winning day had I taken this trade. And I'm really curious how much I would be up if I did take this trade. But I kind of don't want to check because then that means that this is gonna be like this number would be fake. Do you know what I mean? Like if I went back, targeted the same thing, low, 2 to 1, waited for it to play out. Because I didn't do that, then I would have cheated because this would go up. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't really care. This is just back testing. I'm just curious where I would be because I'm pretty sure I would still be up had this trade hit because look, it's much bigger than this. But then again, the stop loss is also. I don't know. I don't know. We would have to see, but that's not something we should worry about. I should worry about looking at liquidity. So yeah, first L taken. We're up by 2. We lost once. Technically, or no, we're up by 2. We lost once. Technically, we're up 3. But yeah, I didn't take this trade, so I don't think I should count it. So yeah, we're at 2-1 right now. 2 wins, 1 loss, and yeah, we'll see where it goes from here, I guess.